Hey guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about camcorders. We're going to compare a camcorder that I spent $110 on and a camcorder I spent $3,100 on. So we're going to talk a little bit about the differences between them. So this camcorder right here is the digital video camcorder. There is no brand, it is a digital video recorder. Basically, this is what you would see like a mom or dad show up to like a baseball game with. A $100 camera with a lightweight tripod. So this is what we have over here. And then over here we have the Canon XF405, which is obviously a professional camcorder. And we have it on a sockler tripod because I do not trust putting this Canon on a like $40, $50, $60 tripod. But what I do know is that there's an airplane passing over us right now. Come on. The DVC camera over here shoots 2.7K and the Canon camera shoots 4K. It actually shoots 4K 60, which means that you can, take that 60 frames and you can slow it down so you can do slow motion. And the Canon can do 120 frames, which means that you can get the real slow motion. If you look at the two setups, both of them come with a lens hood, and this one came with this little shotgun mic right here. And then this one came with the mount and the audio adapter for using XLR and shotgun mics, which I already had this one, which is great. So for this little guy over here, the buttons are all on one side. Basically, you have your power button, you have a mode button, a menu button, and an up and down. So to change any of the settings, you need to go into the menu button and you need to go through the menu to figure out what these different things are. So they have like some weird little settings in here, but it's not really very comprehensive as to what these different settings do. It also leaves it in auto. You can go to these other settings throughout the camera, like the resolution, but it really doesn't tell you what these different resolutions are. So it just says like 36M or it says 7M wide. This camera isn't really as intuitive as the Canon system because you have to go through all of the menus. You have to figure out what the different things mean, whereas you would just see the number values on the Canon system and be able to compensate from there. On this camera, your zoom is actually up here on the top, and this actually can take photos. I mean, that can take photos too, but I wouldn't really use a camcorder as a photo camera. All right, so right here we have our Canon XF405. And there is a 400 model and a 405 model, and basically the biggest difference is that you can take a different kind of input in this model. So if we go over here, you see that we have our zoom control here, and we also have a zoom control on the top. We have a record button on the top, a record button on the side, and if you come over here, you have ND filters, focus and zoom, and a custom button. Basically, for this custom button, I have it set to gain, which is the same as ISO. And for the ring over here for the lens, you can change between that focus and zoom based off of your preferences. If I open the screen, you have a button for autofocus and manual focus and powered in-body stabilization, which is if you want to walk around with the camera, it'll give you some extra stabilization so it's not super bumpy. Within the functions on your screen, you can change the iris, which is your f-stops. You can change your shutter speed, your gain, your white balance, and this is where you're going to find all of your exposure settings. It's really important to have these settings because if you're in a bright room or you're in a dark room, it's going to be very different for the image on the screen. If you have auto settings, it's just going to use ISO or gain to fix the image, but that might make it really, really grainy and ruin what you're trying to record. So one of my favorite features of the Canon XF405 is it comes with this audio unit. So it doesn't come with the actual shotgun mic, you have to purchase that yourself, but it comes with the ability to switch between internal microphones, inputs over here, which are XLR, and you can actually change the loudness of what you have coming in through that input with these dials right here. Because you have all of this control and because you can actually power your microphone from the camera, it gives you a lot more flexibility. It gives you a lot more opportunity to use higher end microphones with your camera. So some of the glaring differences between these cameras are obviously the price, but also this one is a lot more durable. It feels like a heavy metal composite blend where if I was going to throw this at the floor or something, I would be able to pick it up and it would be fine. whereas this one feels cheap. Like if you tap it, like you can tell it's plastic, and it seems like something that would break if you dropped it. Another big difference is the battery life. If you see, this is a pretty big Canon battery. The battery for this is about this big and can't really hold a charge for that long. I've actually been watching it as we film. And you know, we haven't been out here very long. The biggest difference is the image quality, which we're going to actually show you a demo right now. So with camcorders, just like any other technology, you kind of get what you pay for. So if you are trying to work with a professional videographer, this is what you're paying for. You're paying for the nice camera, the nice image quality, and you'll see it in the final production. All right, guys, so I have a couple of questions for you. First of all, what do you think about the difference between these two cameras? Do you think getting a camera like this one is valuable in some way, or a camera like this one is valuable? What kind of camcorders have you guys used? Are you guys Canon people? Are you guys Panasonic people? I want to know. So let me know your thoughts in the comments.